You won't believe what JP Morgan just did. It's related to crypto and it's really big. I'll break it down for you. And an XRP ETF is going live on the Toronto Stock Exchange this week. And Trump's media company has filed for both a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. Things are heating up. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, check this news out. JP Morgan, the world's largest bank, has filed a trademark for what appears to be a stablecoin called JPMD. This is fascinating. Let me move my video out of the way here so those who are watching can view the details. So, of course, we've seen Jamie Dimon bash Bitcoin and crypto for many years, saying it's a scam, Ponzi, he'll fire anyone touching the stuff and all that, right? But it was all a smokescreen because JP Morgan has been building, offering crypto investment opportunities. They were working with Consensus since back in 2017 to build Ethereum. And here the trademark, the details listed under goods and services says trading, exchange, transfer, and payment services for digital assets, including virtual and digital currency, digital tokens and payment tokens, decentralized application tokens, blockchain-enabled currency. Also includes electronic fund transfers, securities brokerage, real-time token trading, custody services, and secure online financial transactions. If you can't beat them, join them, right? So essentially, JP Morgan was not able to beat crypto, but now they're capitulating and they're building with the technology and they're doing much more. We've seen the news after news from JP Morgan capitulating despite what their CEO, Jamie Dimon, has been saying. So this looks and smells like it's a stablecoin. But I know some of you are going to say, well, what about JPM coin, which was launched since 2018? That's a great question. That JPM coin was a private stablecoin. No one outside of JP Morgan could use it. So now it appears they may be creating a public stablecoin. So let's see how this rolls out. We've been hearing a lot of rumors that the major banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and much more, are working together to form a unified stablecoin. And as I've been saying, that is the CBDC, in my opinion, because all those banks are plugged into the Fed and Treasury. And if they're using a unified stablecoin, I think you see the writing on the wall of how that's going to operate. But nevertheless, they have to capitulate because this technology is here to stay. This is why we are here early investing, buying the dips and preparing to ride the S-curve adoption to higher prices and take profits. So this is incredibly bullish. And it just shows, once again, I've said it a million times on this podcast, watch what they do, not what they say. If you had listened to Jamie Dimon, you would miss out on this opportunity. But thank goodness you didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. And even though when his initial statements came out in 2017, that got me a bit worried because I was still new to the market. And I thought, oh my God, is this thing going to go away, right? We didn't have the same level of adoption news that we have now. We didn't have crypto legislation bills that we have now in the Congress. We didn't have a pro-crypto president, even though Donald Trump was president at the time. He was anti-crypto. So things have changed completely. And it's amazing to see the world's largest bank capitulate and you front ran them in this asset class. So very bullish here, folks. And I'm curious which blockchain they're going to use, because if you recall, recently they did a test with Ondo Finance. They did a tokenized fund test with Ondo Finance. So maybe it's Ondo, maybe it's others. We'll have to wait and see. But this is where you have the opportunity to hold the native token of those blockchains and benefit in the adoption. Now, moving ahead, we got news here that an XRP ETF is going to go live on the Toronto Stock Exchange on Wednesday, June 18th. So a couple days from now. Here's what CoinDesk reported. XRP is on the rise as Purpose Investments wins regulatory approval for the first XRP ETF in Canada. The XRPP exchange traded fund will begin trading on Wednesday, June 18th on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So it's incredible to see that the on and off ramps are being built for XRP now that the SEC case has been wrapped up. The SEC is not going after Ripple anymore. I think a lot of these investors recognize that. And despite Judge Torres not wrapping up certain paperwork, that's honestly just loose ends. I don't think anyone is worried that the SEC is going to sue Ripple again or go after XRP. It's been put to bed, right? That's done. So that's why we have multiple institutional investors here in the United States filing for an XRP spot ETF. That's why just about a few weeks ago, you had an XRP futures go live on the CME, which is a key pillar, a key item that's needed for the SEC to approve the spot ETF. So the spot ETF will happen here in the United States, but we're seeing a global movement towards crypto. And I hope you recognize that what's taking place. What a time to be alive. And you're holding the asset before we've even hit the top of this market. So it's really incredible what's taking place. Folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Proppy. Proppy is leading the charge with putting real estate on chain. I've been a Proppy token holder since 2018. I am bullish on this project. They are ahead of the curve with disrupting the real estate industry and allowing people to transact with crypto to buy houses and much more, and apartments. And Proppy is a licensed Web3 pioneer. They've been operating since 2017. They facilitated over $4 billion in transactions, and they use Coinbase for the crypto escrow service with regards to buying and selling your property. They put deeds on chain. They've created NFTs for properties and much more. They are disrupting the world's largest asset class, and that is real estate. And of course, their platform is powered by blockchain. And like I said, I'm bullish on this project. I hold the token. So if you'd like to learn more about Proppy, visit the links in the description. Now, folks, look at this. Donald Trump's Truth Social files for dual Bitcoin and Ether ETF. The move follows registration for a standalone Truth Social Bitcoin ETF earlier this month. So Donald Trump, despite everything that's going on, he and his kids and his businesses are going all in on crypto. Read between the lines, as I've been saying. It doesn't matter if you love or hate him. Put that aside. He is about making money. His kids are about making money. They wouldn't be putting their money into something they think is going to enter a bear market and start collapsing, right? Read between the lines here once again. So in addition to all the data points and chart analysis and on-chain metrics and macro, we have additional validation here from Donald Trump himself, the sitting president, that this thing is not over. He wouldn't be filing for this, going through the process, if he didn't see an opportunity to make money from it. So I hope you understand what's happening here. And don't be surprised if they start filing for other altcoin ETFs, right? They've got Truth Social, they got Trump Media, they got World Liberty Financial, and of course, the meme coin, which I'm not a fan of, but it's fascinating what's happening. Now, look at this. Solana Treasury strategy better than ETH. Firms buying SOL should trade at a premium, says Cantor Fitzgerald. This is surprising. I'm surprised Cantor came out and did this, but clearly they're talking their book here, right? And I understand they're taking a bet on SOL, and they probably bought stock in the companies, the public companies that have a Solana Treasury strategy. So they're talking up their books. But, the takeaway for you guys is that clearly the crypto treasury strategy is going beyond Bitcoin. I mean, they don't even mention Bitcoin here. They're just saying Solana is better than ETH. And then you have companies who are doing ETH, of course, and you have companies who are doing XRP as well. So we're seeing diversification from these different companies. It's just an amazing time to watch this play out. And many of you know I've been saying it starts with Bitcoin, right? And then it'll go to altcoins. So this is really great to see. I hold SOL in my portfolio. I hold ETH in my portfolio as well. So I'm looking forward to all of them going to new highs, and I'm taking profits as we head to the top of this market. Now, I often tell you guys, crypto is a global asset class. I think the first truly global asset class because it trades real time. It's borderless. It's not like even gold. You can't real time verify the movement of gold and who has what, right? So it's not really truly global, even though there is a market that's global. It's not as sophisticated as blockchains with the respective native assets and even tokenized assets because you can verify, you have the transparency, you have the real-time settlement, it trades 24/7, all that jazz. So here, Vietnam passes landmark law recognizing crypto assets. The law outlines a framework for managing digital assets and fostering blockchain innovation and will take effect on January 1st, 2026. See how early you are, folks? These countries are now catching up, trying to get all their ducks in a row. They have to plan and launch this, a year later or months later. It's not going to be as fast as we would like it to be, but it's happening. Clearly, it's happening. Just few months back, I believe we were talking about Pakistan and how they brought CZ as an advisor, and they're looking to embrace crypto. It's happening everywhere. It's just amazing, amazing. I couldn't even dream of this back in 2016, 2017 when I got into market. It's amazing, and I'm glad I'm here for the ride. I'm glad I educated myself and I stayed curious, looking at what this technology is, what its implications are. And now it's clear, man, blockchain's going to power the markets, the governments, and the economies. That's the future. As Larry Fink of BlackRock said, tokenization is the future of finance. There's no tokenization without blockchain, obviously. So things are moving at a really nice pace here. Now, speaking of Pakistan, I just mentioned them. They have engaged Michael Saylor in a bold push towards Bitcoin-backed economy. So high-level talks highlight Pakistan's ambitions to lead digital asset adoption in the global south and position Bitcoin as a tool for economic resilience. So I think we're going to see Bitcoin adopted as digital gold, as a reserve asset. It will sit next to gold, essentially. And it could be used in different ways with DeFi. And then these countries are also going to use different blockchains to power their economies and much more. So it's just fascinating. You got corporations, countries, and nation states and much more adopting crypto. And I think we're going to see more adoption from different sectors of society and the economy as well. Now, moving ahead, this is interesting. So X, formerly Twitter, they have suspended crypto meme coin platform Pump Not Fun. Nature is healing here, folks. Many of you know I'm not a fan of meme coins. And look, I want to make sure I give you the nuance here because certain meme coins like Dogecoin and SHIB and so forth have been around for multiple cycles. They've established themselves as a brand. There's developers actually working, merchants accept them. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the bullshit meme coins that pop up last night or last week and we don't know who created it and they rug people. I don't think that is healthy at all for society. I don't believe in necessarily banning them, but I do believe there needs to be certain restrictions in place, guardrails. Law enforcement needs to watch it closely because, look, people can go to Vegas and gamble away their money, right? They can play the lottery as well. I think, though, once again, certain guardrails needs to be in place. But if you recall, Pump.Fun, when it started, it had the video aspect to it where you can live stream that you're doing something crazy for people to buy your coins, and people were locking themselves in cages and starving them, doing all kinds of madness and degeneracy. But Pump.Fun realized that's going to end up bad or something bad's going to happen. So they cut that feature off. But at the end of the day, there are people able to impersonate. For example, someone created a token for the Thinking Crypto podcast and I can't get it off. And I have nothing to do with it. And that you can't just infringe on people's IP and take their brand and create a coin. Like, you know what I mean? So it's been the Wild West with these meme coins, and hopefully it gets regulated. Again, if certain people want to create meme coins, okay, but you probably maybe need to do KYC or something like that. Like, it shouldn't be this Wild West situation because a lot of people can get hurt, and there's people out there just looking to rug. That's all they create the coin for, just to rug you. It's not even for a movement. It's not like Doge, which is organic and it's growing and big brand. It's just, I'm going to launch this coin and I'm going to rug the hell out of people and walk away with the money and nothing happens to them, right? We can't have that. So hopefully the ban or the suspension continues. I know some of you are probably going to hate me for saying that, but I'm just being honest. Now look at this: Coinbase, Gemini near coveted EU crypto license approvals under Mica rules. So we know the EU has their own crypto legislation in place called Mica, and a lot of these firms are getting their approvals now, which is really great. And folks, tomorrow, of course, the Senate is set to do the final vote on the stablecoin legislation, the Genius Act. Fingers crossed that gets through. That's going to be so huge and could help the market. I don't know if it will because we've been in this downtrend and somewhat consolidation. But even if it doesn't pump the market, that's fine. It will be priced in eventually as things progress. But that will be a huge win. And we could see a massive explosion in stablecoin adoption and new players like banks and much more entering the market. So let's see, folks. And remember, it's going to go to President Trump, and I think he's going to sign it like ASAP, right? He gave Congress the mandate to have it on his desk before the August recess. So let's see how this plays out, folks. Exciting times. I know there's some macro uncertainty with war and all these things. And of course, we don't wish for that. We want that to end as soon as possible, but we don't control it. And just like the Russia-Ukraine war and all that, I don't think this is going to affect markets at all. It all goes back to money printing, global liquidity, and markets following that. Reminder, look what happened in the pandemic when they shut down everything, yet markets still ripped because they were printing money. So these are things you have to keep in mind and keep a balance. Don't get too caught up in the mainstream media. Tons of fear, right? But stay level-headed. Make sure you're looking at the facts and not investing with your emotions. So folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. A great way you can support me in the podcast if you appreciate this content is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. It's on Substack. Also, check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of the crypto market. So check those links out in the description. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.